So currently doing some cardio, but wanted to talk about how the carnivore diet finished. So I did it for 30 days. I did do blood work prior to starting. Unfortunately, with this coronavirus, I wasn't able to get blood results again because it wasn't a necessity. It wasn't urgent. So they're trying to cut down on any types of procedures, surgeries, even visits if they're not needed. So I unfortunately couldn't do that, which then kind of then leaves that question open as to what my biomarkers would have looked like at the end of the 30 days. But what I noticed was my energy was pretty consistent throughout the day. It never really dipped. I never felt like I needed to take a nap. Normally I feel like I need to take a nap around 2-3 o'clock, and then that's usually when I drink another cup of coffee. But with this, I didn't. I mean, I still drank the coffee, but I didn't really need it. And my appetite, obviously, it dropped. So in total, I lost almost 20 pounds in the 30 days. I started off at 220, and then when I finished, I was like 201.3. So pretty close. And the only thing I was doing, I was just working out. Before, it was working out at the gym 5-6 days a week, which consists about an hour to like an hour and a half, depending on what muscle group I'm working, or if I'm working with my trainer. Shout out to him. If after the shutdown of all the gyms, I was working out of the house, doing a lot more calisthenics, push-ups, sit-ups, body weight squats, lunges. And then recently got a pull-up station, so doing that along with dips. And that would be 30-45 minutes of straight working out, and then I would switch it up, and certain days I would just do stuff kind of throughout the day. Nothing else to do. I'm sitting at home right now, so kind of just worked out throughout the day, all day. I guess this is kind of like what you would do in prison. I'll be in the middle of cooking food, I'll just jump down and knock out like 20-30 push-ups. But yeah. So yeah, energy was pretty consistent. I only had diarrhea like once or twice through the whole time. There was times where I would go a couple days though, where I wouldn't have to take a shit. And during that time, it wasn't like I felt bloated or anything. It's almost like the body just pretty much absorbed everything. One thing that I did notice was I would get what they call like the meat sweats. I did get that a lot. In the middle of eating a steak, pretty much any meal, I would just start sweating. And then 20 minutes afterwards, like once I've started digesting it, I would start sweating again. It was crazy. But other than that, I mean, it was kind of boring at times. Cravings were kind of tough the first week, but they were just cravings. It wasn't like I was hungry, because after I eat, I was fine. It was like getting ready for my meal. Then I'm like seeing other junk food at the house, and that's when I start craving. Or when I'm driving home, I pass by a lot of fast food joints, and then I would get cravings for that. So yeah, it was cool experiment. Try it out. I've done pretty much every diet now, at least popular one at this point. I've done the keto, Atkins, pretty similar. Vegan, done that. Intermittent fasting, have done that. Prolonged fast, that's like a 48-hour plus fast. I've tried that. I don't really consider that intermittent fasting or prolonged fasting like a diet. That's just like time restricted eating. And then I've done vegan, I think I already said that. Now I've done the carnivore, and then I've also done low fat, high carb. I think to some extent they have their own place. There's benefits to each of them. Is one that much better than the other? I think it kind of depends on your lifestyle. You can make them all work if you're trying to lose body fat. Is doing keto, carnivore, vegan, are they really the best for long periods of time? In my opinion, no. And I just feel like you're missing out on nutrients, whether they're macro or micro, if you do any one for an extended period of time. But also, like I said, a lot of it has to do with your lifestyle. Like, what works for you. I'm not a big fan of vegan. I've done it. And the only reason is that it requires a lot of planning. A lot of planning. It is not as simple as just remove the meat from your diet. Okay? You have to plan accordingly, because you're going to miss out on a lot of vital micronutrients during that time. Now, with that being said, it's important that you understand that kind of going into it. I'm not saying you can't make it work. I'm just saying it requires a lot more planning. Planning that you wouldn't really need to do if you were eating meat. Okay? Keto's cool. I like it. The food's delicious. You feel very satiated. Similar to the carnivore. And it can be super optimal for your lifestyle if you have like a sedentary lifestyle. If you don't work out a lot or you don't get to the gym a lot, it might be beneficial for you. Okay, if you have a lot of like inflammation kind of throughout the body, um, you see a big drastic drop in that, and a lot of that is because a lot of the preserved stuff that we consume are carbohydrate based. I'm not saying that it's the carbs are what's driving the inflammation or anything like that. I'm not attaching it to that. What I'm saying is that when you have a lot of heavily processed stuff, that tends to increase inflammation. Okay? Junk food, right? Where when you're doing the keto, if you're doing it correctly, you're going to eat a lot of natural based foods. Vegetables, you're going to probably use some butter, some olive oil. So the fats are good. The protein's coming from, eggs, chicken, steak. So the protein source is good. And there's not a lot of, processed foods. Okay? So what I'm getting at is that the more you can get away from processed stuff and stick to the all natural stuff, you're going to see a lot of results. Okay? Overall improvement, clarity of thinking. Notice your energy levels go up, your sleep patterns improve, and you'll even see kind of like your performance in the gym go up as well when you start cleaning up your diet. We actually start paying attention. This is like our bodies are our wagon, right? And we have to take care of it. It's our vehicle. And if you don't give yourself, good stuff, everything's going to reflect off of that. It's going to run like your body's just going to run like crap, and you're going to run it into the ground. Okay? Literally. I just want to get cremated, whatever. But, yeah. Okay. So that's it. Like, comment. If you got questions, let me know. Hope everybody's being safe out there. If you have any loved ones that are in the medical field, thank them. First responders, thank them.